Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Weekend Big Show, powered by Law Dog Sports. I am Chuck Ramsey, the Law Dog, here with you on a bit of a return here on the program after a hiatus from moving the studios, and we are back underway here talking with you sports live on Facebook, Twitter X, and our YouTube channel at Law Dog Sports. Please give us a subscription, share, comment, whatever it might be. Give us a like. We would appreciate it very, very, very much. So back in the swing of things, and the new studio is barren, as we can see. I think we had a follower in the past refer to it as sad, so it's kind of one of those things that happens. But Jeremy Schroeder has been stationary for this many years, and he is with us today as he always is. Jeremy, how have you been, my friend?
Man, it's been an eventful couple of weeks. Looking forward to some days off, and I'm really missing that picture of Wayman Tisdale.
It will be, it's going to be returned. So in full transparency, the former studio, because of room restraints, was up, the studio desk was up against a wall, so the camera went on the monitor, so that was why I was right in your face. The new studio gives me a little bit of flexibility, and we will do our best to try to display the full array of memorabilia, including the legendary Wayman Tisdale picture that we have displayed in the past.
Palatial Ramsey Studios.
Ramsey Broadcasting. Make sure I can get the write-off on that.
That's right.
You don't even know what a write-off is.
They just write these things off.
That's right. It's write-off, and they do it. So anyways, but we are streaming live with you here on Facebook, Twitter X, and YouTube, our YouTube channel at Law Dog Sports. And join the conversation. We already have a comment here. And so let's see. Marty Wandry checking in. Nice hat, Jeremy.
Thanks, Marty. I have waited until today to wear it. I got it a couple weeks ago. We've been on hiatus, so I'm going to save it. It's going to be debuted on the podcast for Marty. Woo! Man, it's awesome. And Marty, how about that R. Mason Thomas to the Kansas City Chiefs pick? Oh,
well, you really jumped the gun on me here. But
I'm sorry, but yeah, I saw Marty, and that's all I could think about.
Well, before we do, let's go ahead and mention that Marty is our good friend from Clinton Liquor. He's our good friend, but his business in Clinton, Seatown, is Clinton Liquor. So we're going to go ahead and give him some shout out, because right now, Jeremy, they are giving away a wrapped Suburban commemorative of Route 66 and the Route 66 Centennial, and it is parked outside of Clinton Liquor, and people can go by there and enter. They're going to have one winner each month, and then in December they're going to have the grand prize drawing. But I don't think there's any purchase necessary, but anybody who's going down I-40, if you think you can get back out there in mid-December for the drawing, you can throw your name. I think you have to be there present for the monthly winner too. But
and apparently it's not selling the seasonal flavors of Busch beer. Is that what I saw
where the apple Busch is gone? And my father was a Busch drinker for many years, and
same.
I can only imagine what he would say to the fact that they would add apple flavoring to
it. It's a little odd. I'm sure it's wonderful.
I don't criticize.
A few million Midwesterners can't be wrong, right?
No, and like IPAs, I don't like them, and yes, there is a certain type of fellow that particularly likes IPAs, but
if you start drinking IPAs, it becomes a core personality trait.
That's why we're in America, though.
That's why we're in America, but yeah, I don't have to like it. That's also why we're in America.
That's right. Dan Narvin checking in from Michigan. He might be. Are there apples? No, Washington's the apple state. Washington. Happy Friday to you as well, Dan Narva. Marty Wandry giving you the shout out. And then Dan says, Jeremy finally got close enough to see the print on the hat. Nice hat. And Marty says a truckload coming today. So
oh boy.
That must be something that really struck for Marty to go social media on that. I'm
I
guessing
guess.
that was a big seller. I'll tell you this, and I never thought this would be uttered out of my lips, Jeremy. Uh, the Shiner seasonal with peach and pecan notes, that was back in the holidays. That was some next level stuff.
Shiner makes a fine product. I'm still diehard on the Shiner Bach.
Yeah, yeah. Shiner Light's good.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I love a Leinenkugel. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
the
Summer Shandy, we know.
that is mother's milk. But man, Leinenkugel makes a Oktoberfest or pumpkin.
Well, for my
Pumpkin
money,
pie and beer just aren't.
the best beers in the world are just any Mexican restaurant that used to be in an old Dairy Queen or a
Oh
Hardee's,
yeah,
and you
the
get the
Mexican
goblet.
Huts.
Oh my gosh, you get the goblet with the
Hmm.
Tecate
Yeah,
Pacifico
tons of
with
lime.
all the lime and oh my gosh.
And I would venture as far to say Pacifico is the best Mexican beer.
Oh, Pacifico's fantastic.
I can't think of anything that I would rank above it. There might be some. I mean, I guess the Dos Equis Amber is pretty good, but
Yeah,
Corona is dog whiz.
yeah, it's pretty tart.
Tecate has to be in a chilada thing, or else it's undrinkable. So, anyways, but Dan Narv says, "Oh my God, I saw someone up here with 430 packs of Bush Apple in their cart. Yeah, they were hauling it to Clinton, Oklahoma." Uh,
Yep.
and then he also says Michigan has tons. I thought Michigan had some apple crops. That was in my recollection. All right, so no more beer talk. In fact, I really don't drink anymore. So
Same.
yeah, I'm tired of my sleep pattern being messed with, but I will go by and maybe I don't know if I can register for that Wrapped 66 since I'm a contract employee for Right Media who's giving it away. So, but if I could, I would.
What
And
color is it wrapped?
it's got check out your Facebooks.
I will.
Marty's got it on the Clinton Liquor site, on the Clinton Liquor Facebook page, and it is let's just say multi image wrap.
Okay.
It's got a ton of Route 66
Oh,
scent.
okay.
Yeah,
Let's let's pull that up. Oh, there's Marty.
yeah.
I don't see the truck yet.
Dan Narvis
I'll
says my
find it.
bro, when he lived in San Diego almost 20 years, swore by Pacifico unequally filled bottles. I never noticed that, but Pacifico is my Mexican beer of choice. Marty says Route 66 map.
Okay.
Yeah, so Marty's getting some Route 66. And that's the thing about Clinton Liquors. If you're on I-40 and you just maybe you're going to Clinton, maybe you're going through Clinton, it is a quick stop off of I-40, very quick, even with all the construction they've got going there. Cameron Hall checking in. We're neglecting Colt 45.
Hey, it works every time, buddy. Works every time.
You're old enough. You may be old enough to remember the old Lowenbrow ads
Oh, yes.
that had Lou Rawls singing the theme. Tonight,
Here's
let
tonight
it
is
be
the
Lowenbrow.
night.
All right.
Make it lower,
So
bro.
you were on track to really get things started, and that's part of the
It's been a minute, guys.
that's part of the
There it is.
mention in this
That's
broadcast,
cool.
Jeremy, is your overwhelming thrill of the Kansas City Chiefs 2026 draft process.
Man, they traded up. I was a little concerned. They got the corner from LSU, what Delane, I can't
Lane,
think. Yeah. Looked like a really good player. They need corners. And since they traded their secondary to the Rams for picks, and they picked up the big D lineman from Clemson, I believe,
mm-hmm.
there were two needs. And then in the second round, just an absolute steal, grabbing R. Mason Thomas, man. As
Yeah,
a Sooner fan, that is freaking awesome. You got Creed Humphreys and R. Mason Thomas, two beloved Sooners, just up by 35. It's gonna be so fun to watch those. Gonna be so fun to watch him rushing the passer opposite of Karlaftis with Chris Jones sucking up 2-3 blockers. It's
Well,
going to be cool.
and another Sooner you don't want to neglect is Jaden Ott picked up as an undrafted free agent.
Yeah. Okay. I also love the fact that he went to Kansas City to play for the guy whose rotation he couldn't crack for whatever reason. I don't know. It's they're like the CIA with that information over there. I know they don't want to go after the kid, but I don't think he'll make the roster.
It had there's Sooner pundits abounding
Mhm.
in this day and time of media, and we're Sooner fans who get together once a week and talk sports. I would never classify myself as a pundit, but I do listen to some of them, and one of them is on a station that is carried on my employer of sorts. So all that to say, Parker Thune and some others this week
Basically on
were
staff.
really wanting to dig in, saying that they thought there was an underlying story with all of it.
Maybe there is. I don't know. I do know that he cashed that check for $800,000, and there
I
was
pay for about
not
3 months rent in Kansas City.
which side of the border is he going to be over on the Kansas side or in the Missouri side?
We don't talk immigration on this show. Yeah, I mean, it is an odd deal, and that didn't deter from the excitement that Kansas City Chiefs fans should have. You, Marty, several others on this program, really ride or die with the Chiefs, and that's great. I like the fact that I always like when a kid apparently is viewed upon as descending down the order in the draft,
Mhm.
and then a team says, "Yeah, that's our guy." And
Sure.
I especially love it when the tape is what speaks the volumes. Maybe I don't necessarily off the top of my head remember our Mason's pro day numbers or combine numbers, anything like that. I know that they said he was showing out in the Senior Bowl, I believe.
He was. The
And
knock on him was size.
yeah, exactly. And so I'm trying to think back, and here's where football has kind of passed me by, Jeremy, and I think you know this. Edge rusher versus defensive end. What is the difference?
Edge rusher, I mean, that's great. That's a great question.
Is that the
Um,
former Will
let's
linebackers or Sam linebacker?
no, because your linebackers don't typically, you know, come up to the line of scrimmage and rush the passer.
I mean,
The edge is it's like the old 3-4 outside linebackers. Think of,
okay.
I mean, the greatest edge of them all, LT.
I thought you were going to say Dat
He
win.
did that win?
He's
No,
the middle.
he was an inside linebacker.
Yeah.
But LT played. He was classified as a linebacker. How
Mhm.
often did you see LT line up, you know, behind the tackles?
Yeah.
I mean, he'd line up over center. He'd line up on the edge of the defense. So you got a guy who's 6'2". I think he's probably around 250, and he's got the athleticism to play a lot of spots out there. So the edge. I mean, he can drop into coverage. He says he patterns his game after Nick Bonito. Well, one of the most famous plays Nick Bonito made at Oklahoma was an interception when they kept dropping him into coverage against Baylor.
Yeah.
So I get, your edge guys are, think of like Okoye, your buddy from what's his name,
CJ Nixon.
Nixon, CJ Nixon. That
So
that
I can
archetype
imagine size will be an issue for him.
is kind of a big linebacker, undersized, hand in the dirt defensive end.
Hmm.
But they're playing out on the edge. They're playing a wide nine technique. So they're going to be way outside of the tackle or tight end, and they're just going to come off the ball with a lot of speed and aggression and get after the quarterback.
Well,
I
and I
guess.
think that's what R. Mason Thomas did. We saw the domination he had in the Auburn game. He, in essence, won the Tennessee game, I think, for Oklahoma, and then got hurt.
Listen, if the knock on him is his size, there are no other knocks. He's
Yeah.
fast. He's strong. What he did to that poor tackle from Auburn on that safety, where he just, put his head in his chest and pushed him right back into Jackson Arnold.
Mm-hmm.
He's got the power. He's got the strength and
Yeah.
the speed.
And obviously, the Kansas City defensive staff and the general manager saw that, so that's always a good thing.
Mm.
So, what was Eric Stryker?
Eric Striker's 5'9", sir.
But
And
I mean,
yes, he did play. He was that an edge before we classified it as an edge, because that's what he did.
So he's the trailblazer.
No, I said LT was a trailblazer. I think we've already established this.
Okay. All right. Well, anyways, congratulations, Kansas City Chiefs fans, and congratulations to R. Mason Thomas going 40th in the draft. Looking at the first round, and I know we're a very late draft recap, but this is just our takes on it. Mansour Delane for your Chiefs,
Yeah.
and then also there was who? Then you did say they took the Clemson.
Yeah,
Peter
the
Woods.
D tackle.
Peter Woods, their second pick of the first round.
His name is Peter Woods.
Yeah. Did I ever tell you my Peter Griffin story on a broadcast?
No.
Okay, so Bridge Creek football had a kid whose actual name was Axel Foley.
Outstanding.
And so when we were there broadcasting in the rain in 2024 with no cover and just miserable night, the kid gets in and I get to call his name. And so I broke out with the whole, and then another, and then another. So that was my claim to fame. And, the Weatherford folks are so tolerant of my broadcast because I actually 2 weeks ago asked on the air if I wonder how many, I was choking to death on some sour Skittles that I tried to sneak in between innings. And so I had to cut my microphone. When I finally get enough air to come back, I posed the question, I wonder how many people each year die of sour Skittle choking. All right. So, anyways, the Dallas Cowboys also had a draft of note, and I think people were fairly happy. I know there were some pundits that had issue with the trading up or whatever, but Caleb Downs, by all predictions, is expected to be one of the next great safeties and leaders of a defense. And one thing about bad defenses, Jeremy, is you have to have a leader. I mean, you're going to be a bad defense without a leader, and it's generally going to be somebody in the secondary or a linebacker, to my knowledge. Really, safeties and linebackers make the best leaders on your defense. Sometimes D tackles, whatever the case, but that safety position is so vital in this day and time in the NFL. But Caleb Downs is I think a great pickup for them. They picked him up at 11, and then also
Malachi Lawrence.
Lawrence at edge rusher. Now, is he the one from UCF? Yeah.
Yep.
So I've always said this about edge rushers, Jeremy. If you can rush the passer, even in league by like the Big 12, I think you're going to have a shot at the next level.
Yeah,
because it's pass-centric offenses. It's not the old LSU Les Miles, 3 yards in a cloud of dust. It's get after the quarterback.
Yeah, if you can get after the quarterback and make him uncomfortable, it takes a lot of heat off your secondary. So if you got holes in the secondary, you can hide them a little bit just through a great pass rush. And this kid, man, 6'4", 6'4", 253. He ran a 4.5 40, 20 sacks in college. I mean, he fits what you want in that position.
Mm-hmm.
And they've been pretty good at drafting guys of that archetype in the past in Dallas. Parsons. Who was the big guy that went to oh my gosh, I can't think of his name. He ended up in Denver. Man.
DeMarcus Cousins?
No, that was the center for the Kings.
Who are you
DeMarcus
talking?
Lawrence. No, DeMarcus Lawrence is a defensive tackle.
Yeah. Sorry, I knew it was a DeMarcus. Sorry.
Yeah, I can't think of his name. Maybe Cameron, since he's on, can throw that out there since he's super fan number 8 of the Dallas Cowboys.
I don't get Troy Aikman's beer sucks.
Does it?
Oh, it's so bad.
Yeah,
It's as bad as Corona, and you heard my description of Corona earlier.
I never had I've seen it. I've seen it at Crest, but no.
Yeah, don't venture. Take my
Now
word.
the Switzer Pale Ale is divine.
Is it?
So I don't know. I haven't
Now
tried
that I'm
it.
back in the metro area, I might have to. Well, I'm sure they had that out in Western Oklahoma too. But
The Schooner beer is good. The
I tell you what's good is the OSU beer, that whatever the beer is with the Pistol Pete on it or whatever. I'm gauging this on back 9 drinking adventures back in the fall.
So somebody just happened to have some in the cooler, and you partook. You didn't spend your own money on this.
I figured out Troy Aikman's beer is terrible.
Well, Troy Aikman's not really a Sooner now, is he?
Well, I'm just saying, bad.
You don't
beer,
even have to pretend to like it.
No
You don't
matter
have to
how
pretend to
you-
like it.
All right, so once again the Cowboys, they needed help on defense, and that's probably a good place to start. We'll see what happens as things go along. But I thought ESPN did Fernando Mendoza a disservice.
Why is that?
We really got, I mean, just the cut. Now I'm in the process of unpacking, multiple thousands of boxes basically. But I get the feeling we didn't get enough shots of his family, Mamacita and Tia and all that stuff. It just, their exposure during the draft was far less than it was during the playoff.
But it's the draft. It's the draft.
If you're not there, I just think it's a non story. He should have been there.
I obviously have no idea what you're talking about because I did not get to watch the first round of the draft because I was at work.
It was him. He stayed in Miami. He was there with his family. They're all gathered around the proverbial couch, and that's
they
fine.
They didn't go down to South Beach, and
no, they weren't in some swanky nightclub with the yayo and all that
with Diego Pavia making a cameo.
Oh wow! Talk about a story.
You're 5'9", dude. You know, don't make it about your attitude. You're 5'9".
Yeah, and also to our Facebook frequenters, when you see a story about like some chick from The View saying that he was discriminated against because he's Hispanic, don't click. Don't
bite it. Don't buy it.
No, those I will filter those for you. That's not real. That's the great thing about X is generally people blast those effers out.
Go back to Facebook.
Yeah, go back to Facebook. I was intrigued by the Dolphins draft. Jeremy, Jacob Rodriguez, the Texas Tech linebacker, goes in the second round. They also picked up Caden Proctor, the well-traveled offensive lineman from Alabama.
Oh, is it that you mean R. Mason Thomas's son?
Yeah, sure. I get where you're going there. Really, just looking at the players that we were familiar with from watching them play against the Sooners, and then also several Sooners went in the later rounds. But I'll just say this. I mean, you as a prospect are probably going to, granted, they can add or detract from your draft status on a whim. We've seen that.
Mm-hmm.
I probably, as a general manager, would have the most issue with anybody who was frequently on the move. And I don't care about coaching hires. I don't care about, because when you commit to a university, what have we heard our entire life? Well, it's not just coach. It's the place.
It's the university. Yeah.
University. It's the setting. It's the program. And, now we know that is all shot out of the water. As a general manager, maybe talent trumps all. I don't know. Maybe physicals trumps all. But I would be very hesitant to to roll with a guy. I mean, I guess you know what you're going to expect in contract negotiations when it comes around, right?
Oh yeah.
You're not going to give them any benefit of the doubt, which maybe they don't.
No, you just look at them as the day you sign them, they've already got a foot out the door, right?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, the money that Caden Proctor pulled from the University of Iowa to have never even practiced for my
So he started at Bama,
Mhm.
did the whole transfer thing to Iowa, then came back. So he only really played for Alabama.
So he had the Nick Saban bag under the table.
Uh-huh.
Then he got the over the table bag from Iowa. And then
Hmm.
he went back to Bama and for DeBoer got another bag and that was all NIL. So I think the Saban bag is the only one that didn't get taxed.
That was NIL era, Chuck. I mean, he didn't have a brand new Dodge Charger that was donated to him by a booster. I think he
I'd like
was
to see
making
that
his own
guy get
money.
a Dodge Charger.
Okay, maybe one of those
Um, were
big
you a little
stupid
surprised that Tampa Bay goes defensive end and not some amount of help for Baker Mayfield
well,
first
I
round?
would be surprised, but I actually watched Tampa play last year and their defense was garbage.
Sure, it was.
And, Todd Bowles is a defensive coach. And if you're a defensive coach and that's where you made your mark and your defense is terrible, you better fix it quick and in a hurry, or
Yeah,
you're going to be gone.
yeah. What's something from the draft that stood out to you that
Let's see.
made you really scratch your head? Now,
Man, that
I'll say
corner.
this. I'll say this, Jeremy. Reuben Bain Jr., the number 15 pick, goes to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, which is what we were referring to. I thought the
Yep.
knock on him was way too hard. The short arms and stuff. Yeah,
Yeah,
he had real
I
short
know.
arms, and he's bull rushing all those Ohio State 5 stars that everybody
Right. Yeah, if a guy can play football, he can play football. If it
Mhm.
doesn't, I mean, you can't. How many guys have we seen go to the combine with all the measurables, get into the NFL, and be terrible?
Yeah, it's hard.
I mean, I think the Jets drafted every single one of them,
Yeah, they've
but
typically been Jets
they've or Darius Hayward Bay, or just guys that go to the combine absolutely kill every bit of this testing, but they can't play football.
Mhm.
So I get it. His arms are a little short. How short? Is it? Does it matter?
No,
Does it matter?
I saw what that guy could do. I mean,
I
and
mean, he
granted,
can play.
Mesidor on the other side was a dog too, but I mean that guy's the real deal, and he showed,
Hmm.
I think. But
I mean,
um,
for every one of these measurable arguments, there's always 10 guys that didn't have that were just football players that were drafted in the fifth, sixth, seventh round because their 40 was 4.51 instead of 4.49 that played for 20 years.
mhm, yeah. Dion Burks ran a 4.3 on multiple occasions, maybe even faster, and goes in the 7th round. Was his usage at OU what caused him from not going sooner?
Okay. Dion Burks, I think there was I think it's the concussions.
Yeah,
I think there's lots of guys that size in the NFL, but you got an injury history. It's just unfortunate. I mean,
yeah.
he had it rough at OU coming here and having to deal with a terrorist like Seth Luttrell, and then the Mateer injury really kind of stunted his season because he was playing really well before Mateer was injured.
Yeah. I
Max
thought you
Patton, Max has checked in. He's surprised that Jade Knott wasn't drafted
if
with
only
a
Marco
laughing
could have
emoji.
had some sway.
Yeah, it's yeah, it's a real shocker that nobody wanted to waste a draft pick on a guy that you don't know if you can count on at this point.
No, and total total understanding. He's going to have to come in as a UFA or what is it, UDA,
Undrafted
UDFA.
free UDFA.
Yeah,
But it, it is it's very strange that the Chiefs picked him up. I mean, his running back coach at Oklahoma is on staff. So maybe it wasn't an attitude issue. Maybe it was something else. Maybe he did genuinely have an injury.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows? And by the time he was healthy enough to go, it was just too late. But the way
Well,
that running back room was banged up at the end of the season, I don't see how that's possible.
I don't know who had the longer run on Mel Kiper's best available list, Deion Burks or Jamad McCoy. And McCoy was an injury
Ye-
thing. The cornerback from
yes.
Tennessee. He was. I mean, there was talk, Jeremy, that he was the best corner, if not 1B, in the draft. And obviously, injury his senior season affected him. How about this 3-player run? At 105, the Chargers take Brennan Thompson, the wide receiver. At 106, the Texans take Fabechi Nwayu, the guard from OU. And at 107, the 49ers take Grayson Halton, the defensive tackle from Oklahoma. So Thompson being the former Sooner, former Longhorn, and what, Auburn Tiger, or was he Mississippi State? His Mississippi
No,
State.
he went to Mississippi State.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
So
pretty cool. That's a
legit,
good landing spot for Fabechi. They need O-line help in Houston.
big time. And
And Grayson Halton's a steal at that spot.
I bet the Niners are pretty thrilled with that one.
I mean, that's an absolute steal to grab him at the 4th round
Yeah.
because he can play football.
Yeah, he can block, and that's
Mm.
that's all you want him to do. So as we start to wrap up draft talk, because it's well over a week since, I know we tweeted back and forth on this, and I tagged you. But like I said, the Deion Burks, I think he was number 1 on Kiper's best available for at least 2 rounds.
Yeah.
I just, in passing, I'm pretty sure I noticed that. Behind him was Garrett Nussmeier, the LSU quarterback. And I think you and I both felt like, barring injury and barring whatever, nightmare scenario they had going on in Baton Rouge, that kid can play. I mean, we saw that he's tough.
Yeah.
We saw that he can, complete passes. On the highlight tapes, I will say this: how some of those passes got completed may be a total attribute to the LSU receiver corps. I don't know, but
Yeah. Where did he end up?
Let's go ahead and take a look. See, it
Was he
was
5th
7th
round?
round.
7th round. Oh wow, he fell all the way to the set. Yeah, I knew
Kansas
that.
City Chiefs.
Oh yeah, the Chiefs took him. So he's going to quarterback university with Andy Reid.
Well, and something else. I mean, we don't know the mileage that's left on Mahomes. He's still got a lot of years in him. Still savvy enough. I thought it was interesting. I saw Mike Gundy yesterday on the Pencil Neck show talking college football, and he said Patrick Mahomes. He said he told Patrick Mahomes at the end of his last season at Tech when they played OSU and lost in a shootout that he's the best quarterback he's ever seen. And it's not a stretch, I don't think. But does the Sam Darnold model kind of float with, well, I guess it wouldn't. If you're at a program, if you're with a franchise that is notable for, developing quarterbacks or having, I guess there's 50-50 detractors and proponents for play under a great, or be a backup under a great, and then you go be great, right?
Sure. Well,
I mean, for every oily bohunk, for what's that, Jimmy Garoppolo.
Yeah.
Of course, he went to a Super Bowl, so
He did go to a Super Bowl. I mean, he was a serviceable starter. I just don't think he was. I don't think his talent could push him over the next level. I mean, because he played in some systems now. The 49ers, they went to a Super Bowl, but you get drafted in the league, you don't have any control where you're going.
yeah.
You end up with the Jets. Sorry for you. unless you're good enough that someone else is willing to bring you on as a backup,
Yeah.
your career is probably over.
Yeah.
So
Well,
you go to the Chiefs, and the Reed offense is basically it's the archetype for a lot of these offenses that are out there. So he's going to a great spot where he can learn the speed of the game,
mhm.
learn how to play in the NFL, sit at the feet of the master behind Patrick Mahomes, and Justin Fields is their backup. Don't forget that.
Yeah.
So it's a good spot for Nussmeier. I thought he was fantastic. I mean, last year, he's going to win the Heisman next year after watching what he
Mhm.
did to Oklahoma.
Yeah.
But an injury and then Brian Kelly's absolute implosion.
Yeah. Texas Tech really showed out in the draft on the defensive side with the Rodriguez pick, the David Bailey, Romello Height. Also, I saw who was it? Skylar Gill Howard, the defensive tackle, goes in the 6th round. That's uncharted territory for the Red Raiders, but they are going to they're probably going to be in that frequency quite a bit in the future.
Yeah, and you did see who was drafted 4th overall in the 6th round by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Well, I'm looking at that right now. Bauer Sharp, the tight end. and hey, kudos to your boy Jaron Canick for going to the Titans.
Yeah, that's good. That's cool. I hope he does well there. Good on him because he
Mhm.
can do so much on the field. He's a special teams guy. He can play a lot. He can play all your special teams. He's a really good receiver, H-back type. I hope he sticks.
One of those
That'd be
pundits
really
I was
cool.
talking about earlier with the radio show was talking about, hopefully seeing a tight end reverse pass to Baker somewhere down the line.
Yes.
How hated would he be if he did that and threw it, into coverage and got Baker hurt?
I mean, that kind of seems to be his MO, right?
Yeah, exactly. 7th round, as we mentioned, several other players. Robert Spears Jennings goes to the Steelers. Man, speed and toughness, I would think, would count for something, even in the 7th round for making the Steelers squad.
Yeah, Spears Jennings ran what, a 4.31
It was
or
fast.
something
It was fast.
stupid at the combine.
Uh-huh.
I never knew he was that fast.
I didn't either. Baron Morton, the former Texas Tech quarterback, former Eastland quarterback that we talked a lot about back when we were on KSEY and Seymour with Corey Hogue, goes in the 7th round to the Patriots. And then former Oklahoma running back Seth McGowan, number 237 in the 7th round to the Indianapolis Colts. He had a pretty decent senior season at Wisconsin, didn't he?
He did, and that's a cool thing. He turned his life around. Hopefully, he stays on the straight and narrow after what happened to him in Norman.
Was he part of that Mikey Anderson stuff or
Mikey Henderson, yeah,
Henderson?
him
Yeah,
and Trajan Bridges and Seth McGowan. We had high hopes for McGowan when he was here, man. He was
good.
fast,
I
fast,
hope for
fast.
Mikey Henderson.
Oh man,
I mean,
I'd
I
I'd give
I
everything for Mikey Henderson to be back at Oklahoma.
I've never called you out on a bromance, but that was near venture.
He was a weapon. He was just a weapon,
He really
and you
was.
know it.
I know it. And like we mentioned, Deion Burks goes at number 254 in the 7th round to the Indianapolis Colts. And Mr. Irrelevant, number 257, Denver Broncos draft Red Murdoch, linebacker from the University of Buffalo.
Red
So many,
Murdoch.
so many pundits, and I say this because Marty says Kuiper needs to retire. I would love to see, and I heard so many pundits say this was a horrible tight end draft. Well, they wanted some tight ends in this draft, Jeremy. There were tight ends going that had 4 career receptions.
They did. Well, I mean, it's such a valuable position.
In the NFL, it sure is.
What running back at OU have we not had high hopes for? After
Uh,
seeing him play once, Jeremy Calhoun.
you stole my moxie right there. The 5-star out of Texas who never bounded to. I don't think he went to any program and did anything.
No, I don't remember a lot of people having high hopes for Kennedy Brooks. He just kind of showed up one day and ran for 1,000 yards, and like, oh, I guess I'd never heard, who's this guy?
Was Rodney Anderson anything on the radar before he showed out in that 2017 season?
Yeah, I mean, if you remember, he had some touches against Ohio State when Baker planted the flag, and it's like, oh,
Well, I mean, that was
this
the
guy.
2017 season. I mean, that was obviously when he showed out, but what was he? I mean, like in that 2016 season, he was behind. He would have been behind P. Ryan and Mixon if he
He was also recovering from a knee surgery
sure. So
or a neck injury, or he stayed hurt. When he was healthy, he was the best player. He was the best running back on the field that day in the
I just
Rose
remember
Bowl.
him showing out in 2017 and thinking, obviously this guy was, behind P. Ryan and Mixon. So,
Well,
and that's understandable. Well, so draft is over now. Everybody can go back to speculating on the future of Aaron Rodgers. So, I wonder what the Kalshi projection. What could you win on Kalshi with
I don't
Aaron
know.
Rodgers game?
He'll come back. I don't. His made up wife isn't going to hold him back, so he'll be back. She's
She's
totally real,
real.
Chuck.
She might
She's
be
totally real.
might be full of straw stuffing, but she's real. No, I think I get Max's tone on the quote. We do have a lot of running backs that come in that we have really high hopes for, and I'll say this: I fell into the Jade Knott, frenzy. I mean,
but to Max's point, it's not like we've had, out of all the backs that have come to play at Oklahoma, we've had high hopes for. A handful haven't really panned out.
well,
Because we've had a lot of great, amazing running backs come through Norman.
for 26 years, we have ran at 27 years, we've ran an offense where running the ball is considered secondary, right?
Uh-huh. And
Now there were seasons where there might have been limitations on the quarterback that, I mean, Alan Patrick was a very serviceable running back with what I call a great college career. He was just going to be barreling through lines to try to break
he
them
was
down.
going to be a safety when he arrived in Norman.
Sure. But he could run the ball, and that was the one year that jumps out to me, other than maybe 2016 when you had Mixon and P. Ryan in the same backfield, that they were going to really, focus on just hammering you with the run. But everything since the Mike Leach arrival on campus has been predominantly passing, right?
There was a gentleman who played in Norman. His name was Adrian Peterson.
Did we give him the ball enough?
He had 19 and a quarter his freshman year.
Okay. Well,
I think he left OU as the all-time leading rusher, or close to it. He had 4,100 yards.
Did he get enough touches in that 2005 Orange Bowl?
The way he was running, yeah.
Okay. Well, okay. So that once he stepped on
Marco Murray,
but you still had Jason White, and you were still his freshman year. You still were going to be looking to spread the field and get it just didn't feel like we were a running team that could pass. We were a passing team.
That was the
all-time running back.
That was the Kevin Wilson offense, right?
Yeah. No, Chuck Long. Thought it was Chuck Long.
It was more balanced once Leach left, and it was.
Oh, sure.
It was a lot more balanced. They ran the ball a lot. You had actual fullbacks. I mean, remember Aaron Ripkowski? Man, who was
Reynolds?
J.D. Runnels? Who was that other big old white kid back there? It wasn't Ripkowski. I can't remember. It's been a long time ago, but it was a lot more balanced. You saw a lot more I formation. They ran the ball more. It wasn't this classic air raid where you're in the shotgun every play and you might get a zone read or something.
But I mean, you look at, okay, let's just take the University of Texas at Austin, for example. when Bijan Robinson stepped on campus, I think everyone in Burn Orange knew that, the offense is going to center around him, right?
Well, yeah, because his quarterback was the Peanut Butter Falcon, but that's
Sure.
whatever you
But
want to say. Hard G.
even
Ellinger.
even at that, you
That
had
was the
seen you had seen Tom Herman, because
Tom Herman.
Didn't he recruit?
Yeah, and they ran more of that, Tebow style offense where there was a lot of quarterback power and running back. So
Yeah.
yeah,
I'm just,
they
all I'm
did.
getting at is that since 1999, even though it's been a variation, it's been predominantly quarterbacks are the emphasis, receivers passing the ball, and then
2000.
if you can run, and I know Quentin Griffin 6 touchdowns, I get it.
Quentin Griffin, Keyshawn
That was
Jones, Quentin
that was a
Griffin.
passing team. So
Quentin Griffin wouldn't come back on the field to break Billy Sims'
and
record
Billy said, yeah. But what I'm getting
in
at is
'01.
there have been a host of serviceable running backs in the OU lineup for the past 26 years. Would that be a fair statement?
Yeah, there've been a lot of really, really good to great running backs at
That
Oklahoma.
don't translate to the league.
A lot of them have.
Several have, but I'm just saying. Okay.
Well, I mean, okay, name any school, and it's the same all over. They're good
Alabama
to
had a
great in
run of
college.
about 8.
Yeah, but then you have your Bo Scarboroughs, you have your who was another running back at Alabama that went to the league and there wasn't
Trent
any
Richardson.
tread left on the tires, huh?
Trent
Trent
Richardson.
Richardson.
Yeah.
So
I get
it's
that,
like that everywhere.
but what I'm getting at is, like, OU running backs typically are good and serviceable at OU and don't make a big, I mean, whether
Like Kennedy Brooks.
you're a bust in the NFL or not, you got to get to the league to be a bust, right?
Sure.
And God forsake, we mention anybody's, problems in the real world. Chris Brown, I thought, was a very serviceable back.
He
Never.
was a good running back.
Keyshawn Jones wasn't going to sniff a cup of coffee in the league. No. So that's
Too
just
small, too slow.
In the fact that when you talk about, and going back to Max's question, every running back that's come through in the recruiting process or in the portal has just been hyped up, and not all, and I think a smaller percentage have turned out to be truly productive and truly garnering attention to the next level.
Yeah, I'm trying to think in the last 5 years. I know Kennedy Brooks went to the NFL.
Great running
Yeah,
back in OU.
Pruitt played when they just ran the ball, Dan.
Yeah, like I said, I'm only going back 26 years.
We're going back to the beginning of the Stoops era when we fell under the spell of the air raid offense, and yeah.
You can even say
Anyways,
DeVon Parker. I mean,
DeVon Parker was all him being dumb.
Yeah, he made
Because
bad.
remember, he had a lot of legal issues when he got to Green Bay.
He made some bad choices, but
he made some
I don't know
bad
that his
decisions.
body would have withstood the damage or the punishment in the league.
Yeah, he was more of that Joe Washington archetype, and Joe Washington played forever.
Great runs, though.
Great runs.
So that's just kind of my point on Max's comment is that we will perennially hype up running back recruits.
And that's the thing, and it's not a bad thing. We're used to excellence, A lot of us older cats, man, we grew up. We had, my first memories of football are Marcus Dupree. You know what I mean? And he could have been the best ever.
I think Elvis Peacock was the very first running back I remember hearing on a TV as a young man.
What a name, man. What a name.
Elvis Peacock and Kenny King.
And then, went through the wishbone mid-'80s era with Patrick Collins, Anthony Stafford, Spencer Tillman, Liddell Carr. Cool. None of them great, but they were good backs.
Yeah.
But then we had Mike Gaddis. Oh, my God.
A torn ACL away from probably being right up there with the greatest.
Man.
He
talk about. I saw him at the mall here in Norman one day, and uh, he looked like he was about 8 feet tall with the Jerry curl.
Yeah,
And he was like a god walking around.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Goodness City, Carl Albert, Mike Gaddis,
Yep.
and, man, that crappy turf there on Owen Field back in 1990, 90 or 91 just
Yeah.
did him in. But yeah,
No
just
matter how bad that turf in Norman was, turf in Stillwater was worse.
oh yeah, the around the Big 12 or the
It's
Big
like
8 was
it's
awful.
like playing on a parking lot, man.
Oh yeah, it was just cement covered in green carpet. That's all it was.
So
All right,
gross.
so the NFL draft is over. Like I said, we will be focusing on college football as media days will be just around the corner. Coaches and ads meetings down in where did they do that last year? Panama City, I think, or something. But
Yeah.
we will be waiting for bated breath. Only so many Saturdays left, Jeremy, before we are back in action on college football. And the great thing about college football is that means that the college football recap show starts coming on Saturday nights.
That's right. And I feel we'd be remiss not to mention that for Conard's sake, that Taylon Green was drafted into the Factory of Sadness in the 6th round.
Yeah, I saw that. Wow. So, and then also for Connor's effect, the number one play. Now he's a 3-star, which I thought was odd that a player considered the number one player in the state of Arkansas is a 3-star. But OU got a commitment from a 2027 yesterday. Let me see where I put that because I had it.
The defensive tackle? Or are we talking about basketball now?
No, it's football. Where was that?
Well, go to your notifications.
Yeah,
Hayes
maybe
Fawcett.
maybe I didn't retweet it.
Yeah, let me effort that. He's somewhere on here.
Maybe it's on my replies. I don't think I can't remember if I tagged Connard, but anyway, so a player from Arkansas who on the tweet was listed as the maybe it was the Facebooks. I can't remember. But
Well, what did Barry Switzer say about kids from Texas?
they want to come to Oklahoma and win championships.
Yeah, they deserve to win too.
So just overlooking things on the Twitters is you and I got into a little bit of a spirited discussion with one Connard Carr. And for those of you tuning in that may know or may not know, Connard is our detractor fan. He would probably be first to discuss that my background and behind me was sad.
So is it Sione Falila?
That sounds right. Wait,
Okay.
no, that was a California kid, I thought.
Okay, yeah, that is a California kid. We had a kid commit from Arkansas?
Yeah, dang it.
Daggone it. What's his name?
Let me check. Let me check the Facebooks because I might have shared it on there.
Oh man, it might not even be real.
Sooner Insider, maybe. Well,
so the Oklahoma Insider has fallen apart.
Yeah,
I guess all those guys left, or they're going to Sooner Scoop.
Who? Brandon Drum and Parker Thune.
Parker, and then what's the other guy's name? I was just
Brandon
texting.
Drum.
And Brody Lusk.
Oh, not sure.
Let's see. I've got OU's 2027 commits pulled up. Texas, California, Alabama, California. Man, okay. Samuel Nelson, 3-star.
Thank you.
Position. What position? Edge. Obviously, edge. 6'3", 225, 3-star. 88th best edge in the country, or no, 46th best edge in the country. Number 1 in the state of Arkansas.
Yeah.
I
thought the post I saw somebody was saying considered best prospect in Arkansas. Maybe I misquoted that, but Dan Narvis says Ramondre seems like he's been pretty decent. Yeah.
Yeah, he's been a good NFL back.
Yeah. What was his?
But I don't remember a lot of fanfare when he transferred in.
No, there was not.
He
I
was a
mean,
JUCO guy.
I think people
Was he
realize he was
JUCO?
pretty good,
Yeah.
pretty quick. But I
And
mean,
he's got dancer's feet on that big frame.
yeah, he's a good back. He's been fun to see, and a great fantasy back too.
Sure.
All right, so
Touchdown
let's
vulture.
wrap up football talk and get into what we were talking about earlier in the week. As the NBA playoffs roll on, the Denver Nuggets eliminated by the Minnesota Timberwolves on basically a skeleton crew. Former Texas Tech Red Raider Terrence Shannon Jr., I think he had 21 points last
He had
night.
a good game last night.
Then Jaden McDaniels just really talking the talk and walking the walk. And I'll say this, Jeremy, I've never seen a program or a franchise that should move off of two players like I see with Aaron Gordon and Jamal Murray in the Nuggets. I mean, Murray has been so great when he's available, and he's been so bad when he's not. And obviously, when you're not available, you're not going to be good. But Aaron Gordon, that guy's a dagger, twirler. And then I don't know, they
I
just
hate
have
Aaron
not
Gordon.
surrounded a multiple MVP with a whole lot of anything.
No, and the one guy that they needed in this series that was playing on a minimum contract last year that got them into the Western Conference Finals, helped guide them to the Western Conference Finals. Russell Westbrook, they let walk.
Semifinals.
Semifinals.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. No, they played Denver in the West Finals last year, didn't they?
Thought that was
They played Minnesota in the semis.
so they were conference finalists last year.
Yeah. So OKC played whoever the 8 seed was. It wasn't Denver. Then they played Minnesota.
I was thinking that was flipped around.
No,
Okay.
no. I mean, Russell was really good in the playoffs last year. I mean, he may have cost him a game or two as he does, but he also won him a game or two.
He's a boost. I'll say
Yeah.
this: after watching Jokic this season and seeing the Nuggets, and I tell you, the Minnesota coach basically called him out at his post game press conference last night that they chose us. They
And it's inexcusable. I mean, we argued about LeBron versus Jordan yesterday, whatever. LeBron James is not losing that series when he's got a team that is just decimated by injuries. They were missing like 4 guys last night. You had DiVincenzo, who's done,
Anthony
and Edwards has, the bone bruise on his knee. I don't know if you've ever had a bone bruise on your knee. I haven't, but I've seen it. My son had one.
I've got
They
some
are,
sort of bruise on my funny bone. It is still hurts to this day. It's not very funny.
The impact when he landed and hyperextended it bruises the ends of those bones. And what that does is the knee capsule fills with fluid.
Yeah.
And you have to have it drained. And it's disgusting and painful.
Okay.
So you're missing him. Who was the guy that had 41 points off the bench?
Oh yeah,
Or 43 points. They were missing him.
Yeah.
So they're down to like 8 healthy bodies, and they win by a dozen.
And
Rudy they played 8 guys last night.
Rudy Gobert
Dubious Handle
look like the Twin Towers.
Yeah, Dubious Handle had 18. McDaniels had 32, 10, and 3. I mean, that's a heck of a game. Gobert.
Terrence Shannon's points weren't just that he got them; it's how he got them. I am
was
taking
it him that
rack, and you cannot stop me.
Was that him that put Jokic on a poster from half court? I happened to walk by a TV and saw that. I was like, oh my God, because he was up there.
He really came out, and he's one that San Antonio will have to cope with. But therein lies the thing: is now we get to see a Rudy Gobert Wemby matchup. We get to see Julius Randle, maybe have some advantages against the Spurs lineup. When they do
Rudy Gobert. Listen to the stat line: 4 of 6 shooting, 10 points, 13 rebounds, 8 assists.
Mhm.
And he's the primary defender on Jokic all night. Who Jokic had his stat line, but you're not worried about anybody else in that lineup
No.
except for Christian Braun. But
Yeah. Like I
I'm not.
said,
I'm sorry,
Brown.
Johnson. Yeah, I know Johnson had 23. Cameron Johnson
Yeah. Cam
had
Johnson,
27.
I just feel like he makes every squad he enters softer. I'm never going to have faith after that Phoenix series when I thought he would be a key player against the
A-
Bucks in the finals, and he's just he laid down a lot. But
And Aaron
Nuggets got
Gordon
some
did
soul
not play.
searching to do. And here's an interesting audio, Jeremy, from Jokic's post game.
Where do you feel like this team is, in that bigger picture, and how far away or not far away do you feel like you guys are from being, a championship contender?
I mean, they just lost in the first half, so they could have far away.
Do you feel like changes, or like what type of changes you feel?
I mean, that's not my decision, to be honest. Definitely, if you're in Serbia, you will all get fired.
If we were in Serbia, we would all get fired.
Yeah, and he went on and gave his organization their flowers for how they built their team,
Yeah.
and he's a great player, man. I
Yeah,
mean,
he's
if
amazing.
it wasn't for all the other stuff, man, I would love, the guy, he's just a big Eastern European guy who looks like a big Eastern European guy. He
Yeah.
doesn't look athletic, but then he's got a beautiful shot. The court vision, the rebounding. I mean, he's amazing.
Well, your OKC Thunder now await their second round opponent. The Spurs will be taking on the Minnesota Timberwolves. I don't believe is there an Anthony Edwards expectant return that would be in time for that series?
I don't think so. I don't think
so either.
I don't think he's going to be back for at least another round.
I want to say gentleman sweep for that one. I mean, I know that Minnesota is really showing out right now with their, with what they did to Denver. But I think San Antonio's so much younger, faster, and athletic. And plus, you throw in Wembanyama. Rockets and Lakers play tonight in a 3-2 potential closeout game for LA. The Rockets are 3.5-point favorites. The Lakers dropped the one in LA the other night. They always say, Jeremy, that game 5, it's a game 4 or game 5 that's always considered to be the pressure game, the closeout game for sure.
Yeah.
Before the other night, LeBron was 18-0 in closeout games or something. Now 18-1. I don't know. The Rockets, they seem for Rockets that need rocket fuel, they seem to be running on a bit of ethanol at times, but then they get it done. And
they're the kind of team without Kevin Durant that gives the Lakers a lot of trouble. They're fast. They get up and down the court. You got the Lakers are not they're not a super athletic team.
No.
And even at full strength, they're not. Even at full strength, they would be having problems with this Rockets team just because of their speed.
Yeah.
And their ability to play defense. And they're playing in Houston tonight. And LeBron is, he's 41, man. The old legs are just, I don't know if they're going to hold up for this series.
You would think
This
that it
would
would.
First time we've seen someone lose coming back from 3-0,
Yeah, they're still waiting on that to, it happened in baseball back the Red Sox came back on the Yankees back in the aughts.
Yeah.
It's everything's due. We've in our lifetime, in just our adulthood, Jeremy, we have seen a team in baseball come back from 3-0. We've seen a 16 seed beat a 1 seed. Basketball in the 3-0 is all that's remaining.
Aren't we? We could very well see an 8 beat a 1. What don't the Knicks or not the Knicks, but we need to talk about that. Pistons in Orlando tonight.
Is that no? It's not tonight, is it? Yeah,
it says today.
So
they're playing in Orlando.
32.
Mm-hmm.
Cavs could close that one out, but they're in Toronto. Magic. So looking back, and we haven't had a chance to recap much about the Thunder. There wasn't much to recap about that Phoenix series other than the Thunder can just, my gosh. And I think San Antonio's in the same vein, Jeremy. They can just run people at you. I would think if you're a team that's only going 7 deep, you're going to be completely toast by the
I
end
mean,
of
you
it.
might keep it close for 2.5 quarters, but eventually that piano's going to fall on your back.
Yeah. Max Patton on the comment line, don't give Connor ammunition for his LeBron GOAT talk.
Connor doesn't believe. Connor was bored at work and wanted to get the old men riled up.
Yeah, that was a total work diversion. Wonder how many violent criminals were allowed into this country while he's texting. Not to give away his occupation. So Detroit is 3.5-point favorite over Orlando tonight in Orlando. So they better get things going. They could be in a bad way as a 1 seed. But I'll probably take the Rockets to go ahead and extend the series to a Game 7. I think the media would love to see LeBron, in a potential closeout Game 7. I didn't think
they don't want to see what happens to them Game 1 if they win tonight, they're going to fly straight to Oklahoma City and play the matinee on Sunday.
Yeah, they probably want
the team that's been off for a week.
Yeah. All right, so just real quick, as we need to start making our way out of here, I put out a tweet earlier, and you need to be following us if you're not on Twitter at Law Dog Sports. I posed the question: is SGA the greatest? Number 1, Canadian-born player. Number 2, Kentucky Wildcat. Number 3, Oklahoma City Thunder player. And number 4, the greatest half of a trade. I think the only contention came on the Kentucky.
That's the only one that's debatable.
Yeah.
But it's arguable that if you look at the list of Kentucky players that played in the NBA, that Shea could have lapped most of those. I'm talking about a guy that's going to be a 2-time MVP.
Yeah.
Could possibly win back-to-back titles. Yeah, when he was at Kentucky, Connor, you're right. He was not the best Wildcat at Kentucky, but things happen after college.
Yeah. And that's what I kind of meant by it, is like, okay, you may not have had the best Kentucky career, but when Kentucky does their recruiting, who is it they point at as, being the greatest to come out of their program?
Exactly.
I'm going to be a 2-time MVP. It's not going to be Sam Bowie. It's not going to be Mel Big Dipper Turpin.
It's not going to be Dan Issel.
Going to try to go back as far as Pat Riley. Yeah, I mean,
we don't count those days.
There were some great Kentucky players on the collegiate court in the 90s under daggone it.
Rick Pitino?
Before him. No, Pitino, and then it was Pitino and then Bibby. No,
Mike did not.
No, gosh, it's not Henry Bibby. I always got confused with him. I'm playing the league, but it wasn't.
Damn it. Oh gosh, dang it. He's a white guy. His kid played. Dang it.
Tubby Smith. Tubby Smith.
Okay, yeah, Tubby.
Patino. I think didn't he win a title with Patino's players? I think
so.
So you had Patino, who had like Antoine Walker and Derek Anderson and some others. So those guys were amazing on the court for Kentucky. Anthony Davis won a title at Kentucky and a world champion. So that could probably be, but I mean, if I'm,
would you say Anthony Davis has had a better NBA career than Shai Gilgeous-Alexander?
No, but if you're arguing that you combine the two as far as a great Kentucky career, of course, AD was 1 year, 1 season. They won a title.
Mhm.
I don't know. There's so many great Kentucky players that have gone on to the league that just played 1 season. That's hard to evaluate. But the others, that's the one that's debatable. And the thing about SGA is those other ones, greatest Canadian-born
I mean,
player.
I've got him above Mashburn, Jack Givens, John Wall. I got him over Davis and Issel, and those are the ones mentioned in the all-time Kentucky. Jack Goose Givens,
Mm, yeah,
Kenny Skywalker, Carl
he
Anthony Towns,
yeah.
Booker, Cousins, Tyler Eulis,
De'Aaron Fox.
Tony
De'Aaron
Delk.
Fox could end up with an NBA title.
Yeah. But at right now in the moment we live in, because that's all that anybody cares about, I'd say I'd give the nod to SGA.
Even over Willie Cauley-Stein?
Yes, even over Willie Cauley-Stein.
Yeah. So that's the great thing about debate. But like I said, the other things, who's the Steve Canadian-born point guard, Phoenix?
Steve Nash.
Steve Nash. He could be a runner. He could be a contender for greatest Canadian-born player, right?
Doesn't have that title though, does he?
No title.
Back-to-back MVPs, and if you look at those numbers, you ask yourself, Kobe Bryant died that year. Sorry,
Oh, yeah.
but was he not in the league those years? And then you look at Kobe's numbers, and it's quite different.
Yeah.
His numbers were not, to me, not MVP worthy.
Well, and and that's one thing about it is you look at SGA, and I think we'll be talking about Wembanyama in the same token of winning, MVP awards and the title. Right?
Yes.
I mean, that's a huge 2 in a row right there.
I mean,
how many times have we seen guys win the MVP and they don't sniff the finals even?
Right. But you got, okay, so 0405 Steve Nash, 15.5 points, 11.5 assists, 3.3 rebounds, 1 steal on 50-40-88.
Mm-hmm.
In 0506, 18.8 points, 10.5 assists, 4.2 rebounds, 0.8 steals on 51-44-92.
Yeah.
I mean, that doesn't blow my skirt up.
So, I mean, you can make a big contention. So, but greatest half of a trade, I think when you throw out that the Clippers have been just futile since then, and the player they traded for has been on what? Has he been on 2 different teams?
The Clippers are the Clippers. They are who we thought they were.
Yeah.
Yes, the other half of that trade now plays for Philadelphia and just served a steroid suspension.
Yeah. I don't know.
So SGA, and this is the last year that Oklahoma City actually owns their first round pick, which is going to be top 12. But next season, now keep in mind that the Clippers are facing all kinds of trouble with the NBA over the fake tree contracts to give Kawhi Leonard more money. They want to move off of Kawhi Leonard. At least they're talking about it.
Mm-hmm.
Next season, the 2026-2027, after that, the draft in 2027, somehow Sam Presti got involved in the Harden trade to Cleveland and ended up with a pick swap with the Clippers.
Yeah.
So they could hold the 30th pick next year and end up in the lottery again.
Okay.
Unbelievable.
It's stunning, and like I said, for the Clippers to take a flyer, or to just, I mean, I can't imagine he wasn't showing the things in camp. Now, I'll say this: one of the great things for SGA's career and his prowess, I think, was that year when they were so terrible. Well, actually, I guess they made the playoffs.
But he got to play with Chris Paul.
And I will always look at that as being something that was a big time.
Chris Paul just seems like a guy that will be a great NBA coach at some point.
Oh, sure. Yeah, I can totally see that. All right, so Thunder await their opponent. The Spurs and Timberwolves are set to begin their playoff series, and that's going to be interesting to see how that works out. And like we said, I'll probably take the Rockets tonight and the Lakers to maybe finish them off in LA. We had a good laugh this week, Jeremy, over a portal signing for one Porter Moser this week. And if anybody's watching that doesn't catch our sense of Seinfeld humor, the Oklahoma Sooners signed a G League player, which, granted, you can have all kinds of issues with that. But former Washington Wizards G League center Akolda Gak committed to OU earlier in the week. And the first thing I saw when I saw Gak was Todd Gak from the Seinfeld episode. And, was it his bet with Elaine that Dustin Hoffman was in Star Wars? And,
yes.
And then that was one where Jerry's dating the blonde that can get anybody to do anything.
Uh-huh.
And, then Gak steals her, and let's see. Oh, Gak! It was the cigars.
And that was the episode where Kramer was putting his clothes in the oven.
That's what it was, and he had he had all those coins for some reason.
Uh-huh. And
then he had to pay Todd Gak for the cigars that Jerry said were horrible. And so he opens the door. You Gak? He goes, yeah. I'm so bag of coins all over him. So truly some great stuff there. But Akolda Gak doing the Bediako thing with coming from the G League and coming to the Sooners. So we will see what becomes of that. But college basketball, a lot of talk. Did you see where Duke signed a three-game deal with
streaming deal with
Prime?
Yes, I did.
It's Aaron Torres put it on his daily update. I'll say this, and I'm not the biggest, Duke fan by any stretch, but I'll say this: let me find the dates. If it's November 25th, that'll likely be Thanksgiving, right?
Mm-hmm.
Duke versus UConn in Las Vegas on Thanksgiving night. I don't know. Maybe I'll be more football.
Yeah, I'll be watching football that night.
Michigan on the 21st in NYC, and then Gonzaga on the 20th. So big trips for the Blue Devils. But yeah, it's a big ordeal, but I don't see it being that big.
No, I don't like it. I don't like all this streaming. Gak is related to Longar. Is that true?
I think I read where he is Longar's nephew.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
A legacy.
Well, and just to not be jumping around, but we do need to get out of here. Kirby Smart finally being quoted as saying the SEC's got it all over, or the Big Ten's got it all over the SEC, a more complete conference than the SEC.
Kirby can say that. Kirby can have his opinion. I mean, it doesn't mean it's necessarily right. I think we've had this conversation on this show that as far as top to bottom, the SEC is a superior conference. But man, the top of the Big Ten is really good.
I would say to me, and this is so tough for me to throw out there, but with the way they played down the stretch, and I know the Florida loss was terrible, but maybe Texas should have got a shake in the college football playoff. And maybe they would have made a run the way they were playing late in the season. I don't know. I made a point to our friend with Ghost of Texas Football. He pointed out a video that showed all of the drops of receivers last season for the University of Texas. So drops they felt was an issue. Every university deals with drops.
Sure.
You could put a highlight film of any quarterback in D1 and show the drop. But I will say this: once he got roasted for the flex on the poor little Sam Houston defensive back that he scored a touchdown on, I think the kid turned a corner other than everything but the Georgia game. Of course, they might have lost to Florida after that too, but
They
It did
did.
seem like they did improve. They played, he
Second
played,
half of the season, Arch was really good, but
he really was.
it was the Oklahoma game that turned it around
It
because
was.
Sark went to more safe stuff that he didn't have to take as many chances and didn't have
And
to be quite as precise.
and why not when you have that kind of skill set,
Oh God, you got
obviously
draft picks running all over the field.
those
Just
flat
give him the
passes
ball in
are just
space.
like extended running plays,
Yeah,
But I'll say this, 3 straight national championships by the Big Ten speaks volumes.
it does.
Probably what speaks more volume is the fact that the SEC has not had a finalist.
Let's see
Like,
who.
I guess Bama played Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
No, that was a semifinal.
Oh
When Michigan won
man,
their title, they played Washington
yes.
because Washington had beaten Texas. So back in the 4-team setup, you had 2 SEC teams. Wait,
Mm-hmm.
no, Texas was a Big 12 team then.
Yes.
Yeah. So you had a Big 12, a Pac-12, Big 10, and SEC. Very rounded.
Mm-hmm.
And the next year, you had Ohio State, and they took on Notre Dame,
I believe so.
who just manhandled Georgia in
Mm-hmm.
I think the quarterfinals. Yeah, because
That.
Notre Dame beat Penn
Yeah.
State to go to the finals.
Uh-huh.
So, yeah, everything has been lacking in the SEC as far as playoff contention in the past 2 seasons, correct?
Mm-hmm.
But you're going to see things, I think, like that. And it's easy to contribute. Maybe Kirby's throwing that out to get boosters off their butt. I don't know. But you're going to see it more with the proliferation of the Miami Hurricanes, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because there's a lot of talent they pull in their locale that might have been SEC talent in the past, right?
Yes.
When Miami's very relevant, like they have been.
Uh-huh.
And then also Florida State's a bit of a lumbering or sleeping giant. They could get things wrong. I don't know. Could just be fodder, could just be Kirby sounding off, or he could really see the panic button and be looking to take a job at Northwestern. You never know.
Man, Northwestern. Go coach Gavin Sawchuk and Kobe McKenzie over there.
Yeah. Let's see. Dan Narva. 3 in a row asterisk. Three in a row has an asterisk. Connor
Stallions. Okay.
And you know who didn't succumb to the Connor Stallions nonsense?
Who's that?
Sonny Dykes at TCU.
Sonny Dykes changed them signals.
He knew what was up.
Ever talk about a guy catching lightning in a bottle?
Yeah, that was a heck of a season.
Lord.
It'll be interesting to see if Josh Hoover is able to replicate anything like what Mendoza did at Indiana. I'm going to say good chance just because of the program and the system.
There's an elephant in the room, and we have not addressed it.
Go right ahead.
What's the kid's name that signed the big NIL deal to play football at Texas Tech? Quarterback.
Oh, Sorsby. Yeah. Brendan Sorsby. Yeah.
Gambling.
Quick 5 minutes on that, and then we do got to get out of here.
Yeah.
I'll just say this. We are watching the decay of human civilization in real time.
The proliferation of these gambling sites is only going to lead to this.
Yeah, and I hate the fact that I did mention Kalshi on this
You
website.
did. At least it's not over here in the corner graphic while we're talking about this. Just a liquor store. We're not there yet.
Spirits aren't doing as much to decay the civilization.
No, they aren't, because the kids don't even drink anymore.
No, they don't. I hear there's a lake of bourbon out there somewhere that's going unsold. But anyway, and if you want part of that lake, get by Clinton Liquor at 18 South 10th Street in Seatown.
Register to win the Tahoe.
Yeah. So Brendan Sorsby, and then the number that's being found is pretty.
It's ridiculous.
It's pretty
thousands of bets. They're just going to baseball games, getting bombed and
Yeah.
placing, nickel bets on pitches.
So, and if you're unaware, if you haven't really paid attention to headlines, Brendan Sorsby, the former University of Cincinnati quarterback who had a great season for the Bearcats, then also had been on campus at Indiana University, transfers
Betting
to
on the
Texas
Hoosiers.
Tech, takes a humongous NIL deal, but checks himself into a rehab this week for his gambling addiction. And then now the stories from On3 are coming out of how many bets he would post and this and that. Here's how aloof I am or how unaware I am of the world anymore, Jeremy. I watch an NBA game and I see all of the people sitting courtside and they're on their phones.
Mhm.
And I remember just thinking, you're such a loser that you got to be updating social media at an NBA game when you have courtside seats. No, they're not updating social media. They're prop betting right there in real time. And I blame Adam Silver for a lot of that because he promotes that. He wants a lot of that to be integral in the NBA experience.
That's why we're rolling franchises into Vegas.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, that's true. But these prediction markets, their hub could be Iowa City. I don't, but Sorsby is just
it's the Philippines, but okay.
Whatever. Sorsby's going to be part of, he's going to be the poster boy.
He's Pandora's box
for what this becomes. And, you've got so many detractors of the integrity of the game, of all games. Officials, the NBA has dealt with that, being, they are the one league, we say this frequently, that has an official been indicted, for game fixing. But I will just say this, and Dan Narva, Cindy, that's my favorite Cyndi Lauper song. Money Changes Everything. And if you're on the YouTube, check out her live performance of that. That's pretty epic. Going back to the 80s, but money does change everything. But I'll say this, much like pornography, the internet, the World Wide Web, computers, has unlocked a valuable aspect. We broadcast this program over the internet through a camera and computer unit that I have. But also the dark side of everything is so much more accessible. And I can only imagine the teenagers setting up accounts with these online gambling services and the young people in college, and so much of it is I think geared to lure people into thinking they can make some quick money. And as a former financial crime, and I will let you talk here in a minute, I apologize, but as a former financial crimes investigator, I'll say this: a lot of people that get took because of their greed. And the promise of an easy buck is huge out there. Not working for something is a problem. So, everybody's complicit in this entire thing, Jeremy. How can you go after Brendan Sorsby when, every game that's broadcast by ESPN doesn't have a FanDuel or ESPN bet probable odds in game, and
well, if you have an axe to grind against the institution that employs him, you will go after him.
Sure. And I would say the NCAA may have an axe.
They may have an axe. Brendan Sorsby is Pandora's box.
I think you're right.
Now we're going to see hundreds of these kids doing the same thing. And
John Latier had some notoriety about it last year.
Now if you ban Sorsby and then you investigate further and discover that half of everybody's roster is doing the same thing, what do you do? What do you do then?
Yeah. And then he's got a lawsuit, right?
You can't kick them all out. You can't ban all these kids. And I know I know there's a ton of players on every roster that are doing the same thing. It's just human nature. Hey, it's there, it's accessible, it's a rush. I need that dopamine hit let me throw $10 on the Indiana Penn State game this weekend. I'm whatever. It's going to end up where they're going to have to either condone it and ignore it or ban them all.
Yeah. Yeah. And how are you going to go about that? I mean,
Exactly.
that dam has been busted. So I don't know.
And the NCAA is an absolute joke of an organization. They're still trying to appeal, Heineke's 4th year and couldn't even get the paperwork filed right.
Yeah. They're a nutless organization. And
I mean, they push
get that.
everything past the draft to punish the kid even further if the injunction is overturned.
Yeah.
It's just they're awful. They've always been awful.
They're
Boz was
betting a
right.
pretty low percentage on those injunctions being overturned, though, right? I mean,
They are, because they're fought in the state with people who have interest in what the kid's actually going to do.
Yeah. I don't know. But Sorsby was expected to be, a big contribution to that Red Raider offense, and
It was going to
probably
be an upgrade over Baron Morton.
that's exactly where I was going. So, I mean, it's Cody Campbell's got to scramble. They've got
Cody Campbell's got to scramble.
they got to get the Hammond kid in a hyperbaric chamber or something.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Serviceable.
Oh yeah. Yeah. He looked good at times. I just look at it and like I said, I see it all as the demise of our society. But you're gonna look at taking action against Sorsby while you're all receiving money from these same betting institutions, and
they're sponsoring half the content going out, and we're going to punish kids for taking advantage of it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or for partaking. I mean, it's not I don't know if he won money. I don't know if he, threw games or anything like that, but Marty Wandry says now all these kids have millions just sitting around. Yeah, and let me tell you something, they could go through those millions pretty quick. So.
And these kids, man, they need that dopamine hit. That's why you got all those kids at Georgia who can't seem to drive the speed limit. You got to get that adrenaline flowing somehow. Gambling, driving fast, doing stupid things.
I'm very thankful that I guess, addiction of some sort ran pretty rampant in my family. I am very thankful that, for the most part, after I got out of my 20s, I learned a lot of moderation. I don't like gambling. I don't like losing money.
Same.
I like our pick'em that we do during college football season for sport.
No money changes hands.
Well, there's a prize, but I'm out that, so I just try to win.
So is victimless.
That's right. But I mean, that is the fun part to me is trying to get more picks than my buddies or whatever. But
yeah,
I'm thankful that gambling's never been in my repertoire. I'm thankful that I learned moderate drinking, and then also never ever tried any drugs in my life. But that's been a blessing for me, and not all people have that. But I'll just say this, like I said, so much vice, as it's been phrased as in the past, is just so prevalent and so available that it's just a scary thing. And we will see what happens with this case. We'll see what happens as it goes down the wormhole and picks up more passengers, I guess you could say. Speaking of passengers, isn't it sad that the Heartland Flyers being cut out?
I don't know.
I never rode it, but it seemed like a neat deal.
Was that the Amtrak?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Can't go to the stockyards anymore now by train. Because I did know people that would do that for OU Texas weekend.
Oh, really? Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Quick story. I had an aunt that would she would fly to Fort Worth to see her daughter, my cousin, and then from Virginia, and then she would take the train up to Oklahoma City. And a couple of different occasions, I had to go pick her up at the train station at 10 o'clock on a Sunday night. back when I worked. And so the train rolls in right at 9:59, and I see my aunt sitting in a seat, and everybody's unboarding or deboarding, whatever. And I'm sitting there, standing there, waiting forever. Finally, like 15 minutes later, my aunt comes off the train, and I said, "Aunt Frida, what? I saw you sitting in your seat. Where have you been?" "Well, I had to use the restroom." I said, "Well, couldn't you have used the restroom back at Ardmore?" I was little Charlie in my family. She was, "Little Charlie, I'm not getting up out of my seat when that train's moving." So my Amtrak story. But yeah, Brendan Sorsby, I'm glad you brought that up. We will see how that unfolds, see if anybody else gets pulled under, because man, I watched the Duke lacrosse documentary yesterday for the first time, the 30 for 30.
Mm-hmm.
What an amazing tale that was. So I missed the Oklahoma Standard one. I didn't get it recorded. Have you seen that one?
I did not get to watch that one.
Okay. Well, we'll see if we can both find it by next week. All right. Let's start making our way out of here. He is Jeremy Schroeder, ruler of the airways, and I am Chuck Ramsey, the Law Dog. This has been the Weekend Big Show powered by Law Dog Sports. We appreciate you tuning in. We appreciate everyone who got on the comment line. Please do so anytime you see us on the air. And I'm not going to lie, Jeremy, I have hopes and aspirations to do some more things with this program. I know you're at some scheduling issues, but we'll always have this time together. But anyways, as I mentioned, we want to thank Clinton Liquor Store in Clinton, Oklahoma, 1018 South 10th Street. Find them online at clintonliquor.com, and I'm sure Marty can dial up some things that you may be looking for. And it's a quick trip out to Seatown, and he's right off of I-40. And also get by there this month and register to win the Right Media wrapped Suburban. It is a Route 66 wrapped Suburban that you can enter to win. I think you do have to be present to win the monthly contest, and then all 12 winners of the monthly contest will be required to be present in December when they give it away. So a chance to win a Route 66 wrapped Suburban. So for Jeremy and myself, I'm Chuck Ramsey, the Law Dog. Be safe out there. Don't text and drive, and sure don't drink and drive. And be sure and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thank you, Dan Narva. We appreciate you tuning in. Tune in and subscribe. Please share and like our YouTube channel. Get the word out there so we can get some more followers. This has been the Weekend Big Show, powered by Law Dog Sports.